Right out of the gate. Right out of the gate.
That's funny because when I was earlier today, I don't know what that was. It sounded like somebody was yawning, but it was Dawn wasn't even here. I was here by myself.
Oh
I was
my
like, what
gosh.
was that? And then I was like, well, it must just be something outside because I ain't got time for that.
So it's weird. It didn't happen on your end, so you don't have to be afraid. But I want to say that it was the trick or treat episode that, so like during the recording, there was a sneeze, but it didn't sound like a normal sneeze. It sounded like somebody going, achoo. And what was weird about it was I was talking and Chris was talking. Like, okay, what happened was maybe he made a sound and I was like, yeah, no, I can hear you. And then there was like a slight pause. He said something, there was a slight pause, and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna go. And then the chew happened, and then I started talking. But you can ask him, because I said, bro, listen to this. He was like, what? I said, you have to listen to this. And it was like, chew. And he was like, what the hell is this? I said, I don't know. I said, and I don't want to freak you out. I said, but this was on our end. This is not on D's end.
Ugh, for once.
I isolated the sound and I kept playing it back over and over and over again. And he was like, what the hell is that? I said, I don't know what it was.
Maybe it was y'all neighbors.
Man.
I'm just trying to.
It might have been. I don't know. If it was like, though, like a whisper. It was almost like they were mocking me. Because maybe I even said something about having to sneeze. And they were like, chew. And I was like, what the fuck?
Is funny.
It is funny. But if you hear it, it was like.
Not me.
Yeah, I know. But if you hear it, it was like uneasy. But then I was like, I know how uneasy I feel. Because I mean, if it's a ghost, at least they have humor. Like, at least they with it. Like, they're like, I don't know what it was. I'm going to try to find it.
Yeah.
Really, very bizarre. Very bizarre. Whoever you were, can you do it again? Look, wait, D, be quiet. Can you chew for me again? If there is a spirit in my residence, show yourself. Say something.
All right, you inviting everything.
Good spirits.
You're gonna have all kind of ghosts.
Humorous spirits, not. But anywho,
yeah.
What up, strangers? What it do, what it is? I'm Britt.
And I'm Dee.
And welcome to another episode of It's a Strange World After All. The podcast where we discuss true crime cases, the supernatural, urban legends, conspiracy theories, and all of the things that keep... And all of the things... No, it's because I tapped something and I thought you could hear it. And all of the things that keep the world strange. We're here. It's November.
It is November.
It is November. That is, the year just flew by.
Flew.
It means we're getting closer to Turkey Day.
Yeah.
What were you about to say?
I wasn't about to say nothing. I was waiting on you.
I was about to say, I mean, that means we're getting close to our seasoned.
Well, kind of.
We are seasoned at this point. We are seasoned. Our food for Turkey Day is going to be seasoned.
Yep.
De-seasoned. I don't like to think of myself as seasoned.
Wait, what you mean?
You know, people say seasoned and mature. We seasoned.
Okay.
No, we are getting close to our season finale.
Yep. Throughout the early 1980s, Minnesota law enforcement was plagued by a number of anonymous phone calls from a serial killer who targeted young women in the area. The caller, who became known as the Weepy Voiced Killer, was identified as Paul Michael Stefani.
The Weepy Voiced Killer.
Spot on.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Listening to these calls are very interesting. At first, I was like, was he trying to sound like a woman? I was confused.
I don't think I put it in there, but should I say this now? I could say it now because I'll probably forget what I'm going to say. But there are some people who think that he was fake crying to kind of like disguise his voice. But then I don't know if I agree with that because that's how he got caught.
Yeah, so then, I think we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll probably have the same note because I agree. I think because that's how he got caught because he just lost it.
See, now I need to hear it because that's the only one I haven't heard.
Well, that one, okay. I'm going to say it when we get to it.
Okay.
Because I don't want to give anything away.
Okay.
Paul Stefani was born on September 8th, 1944 in Austin, Minnesota. I did not know there was an Austin, Minnesota.
Me neither.
He was the youngest of 10 children. His mother remarried when he was 3 years old, and his stepfather would beat him and his siblings, sometimes throwing them down the stairs. So he was very abusive.
Yeah.
The stepfather was.
Yes.
Unfortunate. Very unfortunate, which is also sometimes how is like a foundation or like a, what do you call it? Like a precursor for why people or serial killers do the things that they do. Like Anthony Sowell or.
Oh, the abuse.
Yeah, or just, the abuse I feel like it either leads to abuse, like abusing women, abusing your spouse, or it goes like way left and they end up being like serial killers or like sex offenders or.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But I was going to say there are plenty of people who are abused that don't become serial killers. But you said what I was going to say. They tend to abuse other people, like physical abuse. And then I was going to say this too, because even by him throwing them down the stairs, like, did he possibly get like a brain injury? Because that's common too.
I was thinking that too after listening to those calls and then like looking at pictures of him. I was thinking, and then you know how like he could have even suffered from, I can do this. Is it CTE? What is it? The brain injury, the one that Aaron.
Yeah, it's CTE. Yeah.
Because if you were concussed, then you get several concussions. Like,
look at Herschel Walker.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to giggle, but I just, because it's upsetting. It's upsetting me and my homegirl. But like, because he's pretty, you don't remember that?
No, anyway. I don't. Yeah.
What was I finna? Oh, because he's pretty violent. Like the stuff that's come out about him and him putting guns to like his ex-wife's head and threatening to, I believe that he has some form of, he has something. He says he has, what is it? Is it dissociative identity disorder?
Oh.
Yeah, he says he has that.
I thought about that too. I thought about that for this I was about to say this person. Like, I thought about that for Paul too. That maybe, that he could have had DID or like some sort of personality disorder too. So maybe there was like a switch type thing. We'll get into it.
Yeah. After graduating high school, Paul moved to Minneapolis, St. Paul, and held down several jobs. So basically, going from job to job.
Yeah.
He married Beverly Leiter, and they had a daughter together, but they divorced soon after. A few years after the divorce, Paul began attacking women.
On December 31st, 1980, Paul beat Karen Podak in St. Paul, Minnesota, inflicting severe wounds and brain injuries. Paul called the police at 3 a.m. to report the attack. He asked police to send a squad and an ambulance to Mainberg Manufacturing Company. I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And machine shop. Karen survived the attack but didn't remember anything about the assault.
Yes, please. This is an emergency. Please send a squad to Pierce Butler Road, Molenberg Manufacturing Company, machine shop. Please, there's an ambulance too. There's a girl hurt there.
Can you tell me what happened to her?
Just hurry. She's laying on the ground in the back by the railroad tracks, by the edge here. Hurry.
What's the address?
I don't know.
Who are you?
So, this is the first call, right?
Yeah. And this is where he worked.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And also, he beat her to the point where her brain was exposed. Like when they found her, like her brain was exposed. So I was like, that is like, how?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
And yeah, and the fact that she survived, I was like, that is God.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's pretty miraculous. Yeah, I didn't know that. Like, I knew that he brutally beat her, and I know that it came up a couple of times about how like intense his attacks were, how violent his attacks were, which was again why I had thought about like the idea of there almost being like a switch that went off when he attacked them.
On the afternoon of June 3rd, 1981, a group of teens were playing in a field near a freeway construction site in St. Paul when they found the body of a young woman. She had stab wounds on her chest, stomach, and inner thighs. The medical examiner determined she had been stabbed with an ice pick a total of 61 times. The woman was identified as technically, she's still a teenager. I would say the woman, because they kept referring to her as a woman. The woman was identified as 18-year-old Kimberly Compton. She had just moved from Wisconsin in search of a job that same day. That, again, that's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
She just got there.
Yeah, she probably just graduated.
Yep.
And moved there.
Yeah, this man that's too much.
This was the one that this is the one that when I was listening to different stuff, they were like, yeah, he is violent. Because, like, why would you, you would only really see something like this from, like, a crime of passion. But you don't even know
61 times?
Yes, but you don't even know her. You don't even know this woman. So,
yeah.
I don't know. Another thing, maybe he had some sort of like animosity towards
women.
Yeah, and towards maybe his mother for putting him into that abusive situation.
Yeah, I thought about that too. Yeah, and then too, I wonder, or am I just thinking of the movie? Because I wonder how they all looked. Because, like, did they have a similar look? Did they look like his mom?
Oh.
And then it could be just because I watched, because it was something I was watching where, like, it may have been Ed Gein. I just didn't put that in the episode where they kind of resembled his mom. But, yeah. But then, like, she was 18, though.
What you mean?
I don't feel like she would have resembled his mom that much. She wasn't even a woman. Because when I think of you saying he had animosity towards his mom, I would think of like older women almost.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
But then maybe it was something about her that reminded him of her.
Yeah, maybe.
And then like with serial killers, because was it Ted Bundy? He was only killing like brunettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just think he had something against women, though.
In general.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. Because maybe he felt like she was supposed to protect him and she didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I wonder how the rest of his siblings turned out.
That is a good question.
Because, I mean, he wasn't the only one that was abused. So I wonder how the rest of them, how old were they? Because he was the youngest. So I'm pretty sure some of them were already out of the house by then. But the ones that were there, I wonder how they turned out.
Yeah. After killing Kimberly, Paul called the police saying,
Oh, you find me? I just stabbed somebody with an ice pick. I can't stop myself. I keep killing somebody.
2 days later, he called the police again to say he was sorry for stabbing Kimberly and would turn himself in, which he didn't do. He called again on June 11th. He was barely coherent and was whimpering, saying,
Don't talk, just listen. I'm sorry what I did to Compton. I couldn't help it. Don't know why I had to stab her. I am so upset about it. I keep getting drunk every night. I can't believe it. It seems like a big dream. I can't think of being locked up. If I get locked up, I'll kill myself. I'd rather kill myself than get locked up. I'll try not to kill anybody else.
either he's a lush, either he's a drunk, is truly remorseful, or there's something that's like triggering his brain.
I
'Cause it's
don't
bizarre.
think he was remorseful. Everything else, yeah, something is definitely wrong with him. But I honestly, if he was remorseful, I feel like he would have. Like, why wouldn't you turn yourself in?
That's a good question.
And
I don't know.
because to keep calling like that, to me, it seems like he wants attention. Because how many times did you call him? You could have just turned yourself in.
That's true. I thought about that. That's a theory. But then, like, I don't know, like how, I don't know. I know that there's like a theory of like them having like cat and mouse kind of game, like, can you find me
Yeah.
thing.
Like the
But
Zodiac.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is too much. This is to call. It's a bit.
Call the way that you did, first of all.
Yes.
Like, just call and be like, hey, well, no, not like that. But you know what I mean? Like, why are you being
Yeah.
dramatic? If you were truly remorseful and if you were crying for real, you would have turned yourself in.
Right. Go up to the police station and say, hey, I
Yeah.
killed this woman. I don't know.
Or maybe, I don't know, because I really don't feel like he was remorseful. But if he was, and if he was truly crying, only thing I could think of would be like bipolar disorder or something.
Yes, that's what, or like makes me think of Arthur. That's why I was about to laugh, because I'm thinking of because I was about to say Jekyll and Hyde, and I was like Jekyll,
Oh
Jekyll,
my
Hyde, Jekyll,
God.
Hyde, Jekyll, Jekyll, Jekyll.
I
But
thought you
anyway,
were finna say when he punched DW.
no, because that was warranted, because DW is a little
Wait,
shit. She always talking mess. She's always talking mess. And she thinks she can get away with it just because she's
Oh,
the little
man.
sister. But sometimes you just gotta show them, like. And then he
Oh, man,
like
I
punched
did
her
not expect
arm.
you
It
to say
wasn't like he
that.
punched her, and it wasn't like he like clocked her in her face. He like punched her in her
Yeah.
arm, like.
Yeah.
She was devastated, but no.
Yeah.
Maybe it was more like a Jekyll and Hyde situation. Maybe it was like some sort of like darkness came over him, and so like when he came out of that, it was like, oh my God, I can't believe what I've done. Like, this is what I've done. Maybe he did want to turn himself in, but couldn't bring himself to do it because he was scared. Because nobody, I mean, who wants to go to prison? Nobody actually
True.
wants to.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just definitely unique. I ain't never heard about anything like this before.
I know. And I remember like the first, I don't know how I heard about this, but I think it was like it was a YouTube video, I know for sure. But like hearing the calls for the first time, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like I was confused.
Yes, because I didn't know what to expect when you had asked or said that we were doing this, and you were like, you got to make sure you like listen to it. But I didn't know what to. I was just like, okay,
Yeah.
weepy voice. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. I thought maybe he was just gonna be like throwing his voice or something. I didn't know. Yeah, all the theatrics.
No, that's not what. How would he throw his voice on the
I
phone?
mean, not throwing it like, hey, like
Oh.
over there, but like, sorry, excuse me, not throwing his voice, like changing his voice,
Oh,
but like
okay.
no, without the it's weepy. I don't know what I expected. I just didn't expect this
Yeah.
dramatics.
Yeah. Same. With not much to go on, investigators released a portion of the 911 call to the media and urged anyone with any information to come forward. No one was able to identify his voice, and Paul Stefani was dubbed as the Weepy Voiced Killer. Paul's next victim was Kathleen Greening. She was found dead in her home just outside of St. Paul, and we're going to come back to her later.
More than a year later, on the morning of August 6, 1982, a paperboy was doing his deliveries when he saw a woman's body along the banks of the Mississippi River in Minneapolis. She was identified as Barbara Simons, a 40-year-old nurse. Minneapolis Police Department Detective Don Brown said Barbara was beaten and stabbed. The wounds on her body were circular and could have been made with a Phillips screwdriver or an ice pick.
Paul met Barbara at the Hexagon Bar after he asked her for a cigarette. After spending the night at the bar with Paul, Barbara told the waitress, "He's cute. I hope he's nice since he's giving me a ride home."
I mean,
Huh? You was about to say he
I
ugly?
just said,
Oh.
oh no, God, no.
Oh.
That's how you really feel. No, that's not what I was about to say at all.
Oh.
I just,
Oh,
nah,
like
never
the
mind.
kind of like the not foreshadowing, but kinda.
It is kind of foreshadowing. I just
Yeah.
don't understand. Everybody was doing it. I don't understand why they were doing that back then. I just don't understand. I know we've talked about it before.
Different time.
Yeah, very different time. If I have to question, even if it was a joke, I don't know that I should be riding home with them.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, it was a different time. It was
I know.
normal. And I always bring this up, especially since I do it, because it's technically we're still doing that today with Uber and Lyft.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like it
It
is,
kind of
but it's not.
is.
There's at least a trail. Like you would at least know, okay, this is the last person that saw her. Because
Oh,
see, still
yeah.
they have it
Yeah, that's true.
documented.
That's true. Barbara's body was found the next day. Paul again contacted the police crying. He said,
Fire emergency.
Please don't talk, just listen. I'm sorry I killed that girl. I stabbed her 40 times. Kimberly Compton was the first one. Oh, my safe. I don't know what's the matter with me. I'm sick. I'm going to kill myself, I think.
Where are you?
I'm just going to... If somebody dies with a red shirt on, it's me. I killed both of you. I'm sorry. I'll never make it to heaven.
Calm down. Calm.
again, calling the police, crying. Like, that's why I feel like he's doing it for attention.
Yeah,
Because
maybe.
why are you calling them?
But what was he calling them on? I would be afraid of them tracing my call.
I think it was a
one.
payphone, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because payphone. Yeah, it was a payphone.
Oh. August 21st, 1982, in Minneapolis, Paul picked up a 19-year-old sex worker, Denise Williams. Denise sensed something was off when Paul began driving through a dark suburban area rather than taking her back to where he originally picked her up. After turning onto a dead-end road, he stabbed her 15 times with a screwdriver. Denise managed to hit Paul in the head with a glass bottle. Her screams caught the attention of a man who lived nearby. When he saw Paul trying to stab Denise again, he began wrestling with him and caused Paul to flee the scene. So kudos to this man.
Yes. Yeah, because a lot of people, you know how people are, they gonna mind their business.
Yeah, they wouldn't have cared. They wouldn't have, especially too because she is a sex worker. You could probably tell that she was a sex worker.
Yeah, and then
you probably would have just been like, oh.
Yeah, as young as she was too. So that's probably another reason why he He helped her.
Helped,
Yeah.
maybe.
Police showed Denise several mugshots, and she identified Paul as the man who stabbed her. When Paul got home, he noticed he was bleeding so badly that he needed medical attention. It was his call to 911 that confirmed that Paul Stefani was the Weepy Voiced Killer.
You fool.
Man, I
Why?
wish I should have had it queued up. If I would have known that I could find it, because I want to hear it so bad.
Oh, and I would have queued it up for you, but I would have had to tried to find it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Need an ambulance?
Where?
1505 Westminster?
1505
Yes.
Westminster. What's the problem?
I'm all cut up. I got beat up.
What's your apartment number?
208. I'm bleeding
208. Where are you bleeding from?
from my arm, my face, my head.
Go ahead. What were you saying? So you listened to it.
Yeah.
Last call.
Yeah, from where he called for himself, but he wasn't crying. He was talking normal, but to me, he sounds the same, but it sounds like he was trying not to cry. Because he was like, dang,
Yeah.
I can't cry because then they're going to know it's me, but you still sound the
Yeah.
same.
That's why I was thinking I think that was why I was like, okay. Not to say that he's remorseful. I don't know. That's why I was thinking, okay, well, maybe that the crying wasn't like for show, because he did kind of sound like he would have sounded like that if he would have let his feelings
Yeah.
out completely. So
Yeah, because when
I
he
don't know.
when he said his apartment number and then he was like, I'm bleeding, it was like, he did sound like he was trying not to cry. Because he was kind of like, he was trying not to cry and he was trying not to panic. It seemed like he was trying to just be calm. Yeah.
I don't know. You can call me insensitive or whatever, but I had no sympathy for the man. I was just like, oh my God, you idiot. Like,
exactly.
And you might as well had just went to the hospital. Like, did you have enough strength to drive yourself to the hospital? Like, why would you call the police? And you know that they looking for this person, the Weepy Voiced Killer.
Exactly. That's why I was like, he was probably like, okay, I'm going to call, but I'm going to try not to cry. Because you could tell he was in pain. She messed him up.
Man.
That's what he get.
It is what he gets, though.
Yeah, because he could have went to the hospital instead of going home.
Yeah, he could have. He could have gone to the hospital. Or, I don't know, I would have went to a public place and, I don't know, passed out. So they would call the ambulance. You know what I mean? Not like, I don't know. Again, not rooting for him by any means. It was just stupid. So, I mean, thank goodness he was dumb and
stupid
did
enough
that,
to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I hadn't heard that. I heard all of the other ones, but I didn't hear that one. And it's clearly him.
One.
Yeah, it's clearly him. Stupid.
Ultimately, Paul was convicted of Barbara Simon's murder and the attempted murder of Denise Williams and sentenced to 40 years in prison. Investigators believed Paul killed Kimberly Compton and assaulted Karen Podak, but they had no evidence. More than a decade after his convictions in 1997, Paul was diagnosed with skin cancer and had no more than a year to live. This is when he decided to finally confess to the murders of Kimberly Compton, Barbara Simons, and Kathleen Greening.
Paul wasn't even a suspect in Kathleen's murder because he didn't call the police afterwards like he had done in the other cases. So this is the one that they found in her apartment. He admitted to drowning her in her tub. So he didn't stab her like he did the other women, and he didn't call 911 afterwards. So they didn't even think that was him. He even confessed to the attack on Karen Potak. Paul Stefani died in prison in 1998. So yeah, he finally felt guilty now that he knew he was dying and confessed to everything.
Yeah. Lucky he did that, because some people just die.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Still claiming innocence.
Yeah. So
did anybody record that, though? Like his confessions? Like, I wonder, did he say why? Was there ever a why?
Probably not. I don't think so. And again, we'll never know. He confessed to it, but I don't remember him giving a reason.
I would want to know why, because it's like these were pretty violent crimes. You didn't know them like that, so like what? Why? What was the reason behind it? You feel like they deserved it? What was it?
Yeah, because even going back to Anthony Sowell,
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have a reason. Nobody has a reason unless it's self-defense. There is no reason you should be out here killing people.
He gave an
But
excuse.
yeah, he was killing like sex workers and drug addicts. Paul, it just seemed random.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. And then, yeah, I take that back. Yeah, it wasn't an excuse. He felt
Yeah.
like in Anthony Soule's case, he felt like those people probably wouldn't be missed.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy, it was random. He was just, for what?
Yeah, for what? And then the calls. Okay.
That, I, again, for me, I feel like it's for attention, but, I said that earlier, that people thought that he was basically faking it to try to, I guess, disguise his voice. But if you listen to his regular call when he needed help, it's the same voice. So I don't think, yeah.
It didn't
Yeah,
seem
and then
fake to
like
me.
you could barely like, this is how you know when somebody is crying for real, because you can barely understand what they're saying. Like you couldn't even understand half the stuff he was
Mm-mm.
saying.
It didn't sound like how, like, what's his face? Like, it didn't sound like how when Will Ferrell, you know how Will Ferrell, was that Will Ferrell?
Oh, an Anchorman?
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
yes. It didn't sound like it sounded like that, but it did not sound like that. Like you
I
could
know
tell
what you
he was
mean.
playing.
Yeah.
But this guy, I felt that it was like, first of all, sir, you need to calm down.
Yeah.
I don't know. My theory is, if we're doing final thoughts, is that, yeah, like you said, maybe he suffered from a brain injury. Maybe there was sort of like a switch that flipped on when or something that triggered him to do these murders. And then when that switch flipped, it was like, oh crap, like this is what I've done. Maybe I should turn myself in. I don't know. And then maybe that's what prompted the calls, but he could never bring himself to turn himself in. I don't know. That's where I am with my theory.
So because of the fact when you look it up, what you're mostly gonna get is the 911 calls. And I think that is overshadowing the victims because that's all you really see. And even though we made it, it was a point of the episode, but that's only because it's like, is he for real? Is he remorseful? Like, but that shouldn't be the only thing you find when you look this up. And I
Right.
feel like that overshadowed everything else. Like nobody knows pretty much what really happened. Like what, cause like even looking at other cases, you can easily find transcripts of like, even like, interrogations. You can
Yeah.
find that. You can find, like even victim impact statements, you can find
Yep.
those. But with this, it's like hard to find. All you're going to see mainly is the 911 calls. And I think
Yeah.
that's the media too, putting that out, the
Right.
sensationalizing it. But,
Yeah, I agree.
and then the fact that he didn't even really confess until he was already in prison, until he was
Right.
about to die. So so those interrogations, he probably wasn't saying much because it's not like
Probably
he
not.
admitted to anything until then. Even the 911 calls, to me, when I first heard them, they are to me, it was kind of creepy because it's
Yeah.
like, what? Because you don't know what's happening. It's just confusing. And then you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like you said, you thought it was a woman. You're like, because he does not look like he sounds like that.
And then it's like, is it a prank? Like they said, like some
Yeah.
of the, like the dispatch at first was like, is this a prank? Like,
Yeah. You don't know. And then when you find out that he's serious, it's like, why
why?
can't we? Yeah. And then the fact that nobody recognized his voice. Because, like, to me, he has like a recognizable voice.
He does. They
So,
were
yeah.
saying though initially that they were getting a bunch of calls in of people though saying that they knew who it was, saying that they recognized who it was, but then it was all kind of like a dead end.
Yeah.
So, and then in the like when they went to trial, they used people that were close to him and had them listen to calls, and they were able to be like, well, no, that's him. That's
Yeah.
him. But yeah, none of those people, I guess, actually came forward when the calls were initially released. They didn't come forward
Oh,
until the trials.
that's sad. That's unfortunate.
Wait, and I said that were those calls initially released though to like the public before he got arrested?
Yeah. They
Okay.
because it was after so the first victim was Karen, but she survived.
Right.
So they didn't release, but he did call 911 after that. They didn't release it until the second victim, who his first actual murder victim.
Okay.
They released it after that. So they released a portion of Karen's 911 call, and then they released a portion of Kimberly. That was the second victim.
Okay.
So they released it after that.
Oh, and I'm dumb. I asked that disregard because I had literally just said, I'm tired. I had literally just said people was calling in like, oh, I know who this is, but then they didn't.
Did.
So never mind. Take it back.
You did.
Anything else?
No, that's it for me. I feel like we pretty much agree on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is. You want to say something?
I thought I was going to, yeah, but no, I'm good. Yeah.
Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I think because I was just thinking if people, how did it lead to dead ends though? Because if you recognize his voice, I'm pretty sure you could be like, oh, that was Paul.
I think they thought that it was other people. Like that it wasn't really him. Nobody actually really called and said that it was the like it was never him. Yeah, I think they were I don't know why the hell I was about to say misgender, because that's not the word. They misaudited him. They misaudibled him. That's what I put.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is all, folks. That's all, folks.
Please follow us on Instagram at It's a Strange World Podcast, Twitter at Pod Strange World, and on Facebook and TikTok at It's a Strange World After All. Also, if you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify and like the show, please go ahead and give us a 5-star rating. And if you're feeling extra strange, please write a review.
Please and
thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we would love to hear from you. What did you think of this week's episode? Also, if there's anything else in the world of strange or true crime cases that you would like us to cover, let us know. If you have any personal stories involving true crime or the supernatural, we would love to have you on the show and share them with our listeners. Don't forget that we are doing movie reviews of the horror, thriller, slasher, and true crime genre. So if you have any movies or documentaries and want to hear our uncensored, unsolicited opinions on them, you can email those submissions to itsastrangeworldafterall@gmail.com or DM us at any other social media platforms D mentioned. Those 2 that we've done are out. Be on the lookout for one this month. I will just say, the movie reviews really finds its voice in Halloween.
After 2.
In the second. Yeah, after 2, it really finds its voice. But yeah, that's it. That's all I had. That's it. That's all. Oh, even if you just want to say, hello there, we will be here.
Thank you. There was a little spit in that one.
I heard it.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of
It's a Strange World After All. And thank you as always for keeping it strange with us.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh.